Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Explosive return set for October. Grey's Anatomy is back this fall with its highly anticipated 22nd season, premiering Thursday, October 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time on ABC, with new episodes streaming the next day on Hulu and Disney+. Following the shocking Season 21 finale, where a gas canister exploded inside Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital, fans are bracing for answers about who survived and how the hospital will recover from yet another devastating disaster. The returning cast includes Ellen Pompeo as Meredith Grey, Jason George as Ben Warren, Camilla Luddington as Joe Wilson, Kevin McKidd as Owen Hunt, James Pickens Jr. as Richard Webber, Chandra Wilson as Miranda Bailey, and more. In a twist sure to excite longtime fans, Patrick Dempsey will reprise his role as Derek Shepherd for 7 episodes, marking a monumental return a decade after his character's tragic death. Camilla Luddington has already teased that the season premiere will be even crazier than the finale, calling it one of the most difficult episodes she's ever filmed. With Joe and Link's future uncertain after their wedding and the explosion, emotions are expected to run high from the very first scene. Season 22 will span 18 episodes, filled with non-stop action, heartbreak, and the emotional storytelling that has kept viewers hooked for nearly 2 decades. While no trailer has dropped yet, anticipation is at an all-time high as Grey's Anatomy continues to balance medical emergencies with deeply personal drama. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release date, when the beloved medical drama returns to ABC. Get ready for more medical drama and more regular drama, because Grey's Anatomy returns to ABC this fall. In Season 22 of the show, Meredith Grey will return for another season that is sure to keep you reaching for the tissues. But when exactly can you plan for the release date of Grey's Anatomy Season 22? The Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release date is Thursday, October 9th at 10 o'clock Eastern/Pacific on ABC. New episodes of the 18-episode season will continue to air in that time slot on a weekly basis. After the episodes have aired on ABC, they will be available for streaming the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. It hasn't been too long since the previous season of Grey's Anatomy concluded in May 2025, and given the number of exciting TV release dates this fall, you'll want to carefully plan your viewing schedule. Currently, there is not a trailer available for Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Grey's Anatomy Season 21 concluded with an explosive cliffhanger. A bomb exploded inside Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. While we know Meredith, Ben Warren, Jason George, and Joe Wilson probably weren't in the building, it's possible that some of the other characters might have been caught in the blast. The show also stars Alexis Floyd as Simone Griffith, Anthony Hill as Winston Degu, Adelaide Kane as Jules Millen, Kevin McKidd as Owen Hunt, James Pickens Jr. as Richard Webber, Kim Raver as Teddy Altman, Katerina Scorsone as Amelia Shepherd, and Chandra Wilson as Miranda Bailey. Plus, Patrick Dempsey is meant to return as Derek Shepherd for at least 7 episodes of Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Why Grey's Anatomy's Camilla Luddington says season premiere is even crazier than finale. Ahead of Grey's Anatomy's Season 22 premiere in October, Camilla Luddington exclusively teased to E! News how the shocking Season 21 finale sets the stage for an even crazier return. Camilla Luddington is teasing a heart-pounding return for Grey's Anatomy this fall. The Shonda Rhimes series ended Season 21 with a quite literally explosive finale, and the actress, who has played Dr. Joe Wilson on the show for nearly 14 years, shared that returning for the upcoming Season 22 premiere has been difficult. There are some premieres that I'm excited to come back and film, Camilla told E! News in an exclusive interview. We've had some really funny openers in this one. I think I can say this, I was really dreading. As she put it, the finale was crazy. Our premiere is even crazier. There is so much going on. Considering the last episode ended on a cliffhanger, leaving the fate of Joe's new husband, Dr. Atticus Link Lincoln, Chris Carmack, up in the air, Camilla was anxious for what was to come, adding, "I had to take a deep breath going back. It's been a lot." Since returning to work on Grey's in July, the 41-year-old admitted the premiere, which will air on ABC October 9th, has been hanging over her head. "I don't even know how they're going to film it in regular filming days, like this should be a 3-week movie," she added. "It's wild. There's so much going on. There's so much action nonstop. I think viewers are going to be really excited to watch, but also, there's some hard moments. It'll be understandably hard for Jo. It's a rough episode for her, Camilla noted. It's really rough. Given the emotional exhaustion Camilla has faced with her latest Grey storyline, she has been utilizing every mom hack in the book for her and husband Matthew Allen's kids Hayden, 7, and Lucas, 5. Indeed, the couple are currently juggling work and childcare on their own, and Camilla has made packing school lunches one less thing to worry about through her partnership with Gedimus. From Gerber. One of the most frustrating things as a mom is that your kid comes home, you open the backpack up, you open the food up, and they're like, everything's still there, and they're like, I'm hungry, she explained. You're like, you didn't eat your lunch. What I love about this snack is that it gets in their lunchbox. At least I know that section is going to be eaten. Camilla admits she also keeps a stash in her car, which makes the drive home from work and school much easier. My kids are so hangry when they get home from school, she detailed. That car ride is one of my least favorite car rides in the world. But when she has Gedimus on hand, Camilla added, I'll have a peaceful car ride. The upcoming Grey's Anatomy episode may be one of the most shocking yet, but keep reading for a look back on some of the show's most memorable moments. From booty call to boss. Incoming surgical intern Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, was thrown for quite a loop in Grey's Anatomy's series premiere when she learned that the hunky one-night stand she picked up at the bar played by Patrick Dempsey was actually her new boss, renowned surgeon Dr. Derek Shepherd. Oops. Addison's arrival. Fans were just as stunned as poor Meredith in the Season 1 finale when Addison Montgomery, Kate Walsh, waltzed into Seattle Grace and right up to Maren Derek, introducing herself with the now iconic, "You must be the woman who's been screwing my husband." Bombs away. When Grey's Anatomy was given the plum post-Super Bowl slot in its second season, fans watched tensely as Meredith decided to shove her hand into a body cavity containing a live explosive to keep it from detonating. And just as we began to breathe a sigh of relief when Bomb Squad Chief Dylan, guest star Kyle Chandler, began to walk away with the removed explosive, it blew, taking the poor guy out in the process. Denny's demise. Fans watched as Izzy, Katherine Heigl, fell in love with the effortlessly charming Denny Duquette, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as he awaited a much-needed heart transplant throughout the second half of Season 2, falling for him right along with her. And when her wild plan to cut his LVAD wire to move him up the transplant list failed spectacularly, resulting in his death in the season finale, it was confirmed that Grey's Anatomy was not here to give us the happy endings we wanted. Meredith's near-death experience. What was more surprising during Season 3's big ferry accident? Meredith nearly drowning after being knocked into freezing cold waters at the accident site, or her later admission that she'd given up trying to survive? Lexi's arrival. At the end of Season 3, a surgical intern named Lexi Kyler Lee arrived at Seattle Grace, first meeting Derek the night prior to starting at the hospital in a moment that mirrored his first interaction with Mare 2 seasons prior, but thankfully did not end with them sleeping together, and then introducing herself to George O'Malley T.R. Knight in the intern locker room. Oh, and her last name? Why, Grey, of course. And just like that, Meredith's younger half-sister, one of 2 daughters raised by her father Thatcher and his second wife Susan, was added to the mix. Ghost Denny. 2.5 seasons after he'd perished, Denny was back and his ghost was having sex with Izzy. In one of the most ludicrous moments in the show's history, Ghost Denny was used to signal to viewers and to Izzy herself that something was wrong. That something was ultimately proven to be stage 4 metastatic melanoma, which had spread to, among other places, her brain. It's George. While fans were expecting Izzy to bite the bullet in the Season 5 finale, the fact that no one could find George should have clued us into the fact that something was up with poor O'Malley. When Meredith finally realized what the John Doe who'd been hit by a bus while trying to save a woman on the street was writing in her hand, 007, his cruel nickname in earlier seasons, she tried to alert the surgeons working on him. But it was too late. He flatlined and died. The shooting. File this one under the most disturbing episode in Grey's history. In the Season 6 finale, the grieving husband of a deceased patient arrived at the hospital, fresh off its merger with neighboring Mercy West, with a loaded gun and nothing left to live for. A few doctors were murdered, several more injured, and the image of Bailey Chunder Wilson being dragged by her feet out from under a patient's bed will forever haunt us. Thankfully, she survived. Maren Derek's baby wasn't so lucky. After he was shot, she believed he'd died and had a traumatic miscarriage. The plane crash. 2 seasons after the horrific hospital shooting, Shonda Rhimes decided it was time to torture a handful of docs yet again. In the 8th-season finale, a plane carrying Meredith, Derek, Christina Young, Sandra Oh, Lexi, Mark Sloan, Eric Dane, and Arizona Robbins, Jessica Capshaw, traveling to Boise, Idaho to perform surgery on conjoined twins, crashed in the wilderness, leaving them stranded and wounded, with no one at home even knowing they'd gone down. The accident claimed Mark and Lexi's lives and Arizona's leg, while nearly leaving Derek's hand permanently injured. Burke's return. How would Grey's send off Mare's person Christina at the end of Season 10 after Sandra Oh decided to move on? Why, by having ex-Preston Burke, Isaiah Washington, pop back up after leaving her at the altar in Season 3 to offer her his hospital in Switzerland. That the show brought Washington back after his highly contentious exit, which involved him referring to co-star TR Knight by a heinous gay slur, was truly surprising. Maggie's arrival. As the show said goodbye to Christina in the Season 10 finale, it welcomed her replacement as the head of cardiothoracic surgery, Dr. Maggie Pierce. And when the character, played by Kelly McCreary, revealed to Richard James Pickens Jr., in the episode's final moments that she was Dr. Ellis Grey's daughter, asking if he knew the legendary doctor, he wasn't the only one stunned to learn that he had a daughter and that Mare had another sister. Derek's departure. Literally no one saw it coming when, with a handful of episodes left to air in Season 11, Derek was killed off, the victim of a head-on collision just after rescuing a family on the side of the road involved in a car crash of their own. Patrick Dempsey had just recently extended his contract on the show, making his departure truly unexpected. Killing off Mare's husband may have been Shonda Rhimes' only feasible option to get rid of the character in a way that didn't render an 11-year love story completely worthless, but that didn't mean it hurt any less. Meredith's attack. As if Mare hadn't been through enough up to this point, in the 9th episode of Season 12, she was violently attacked by a patient in a brutal episode that saw her jaw broken and then wired shut in order to restore her hearing. Her panic attack when her kids won't see her during her recovery was a stunning moment of acting from Ellen Pompeo. Alex's departure. How would the show explain Alex Karev's sudden absence after original star Justin Chambers walked away from his role midway through Season 16? By having him write letters to wife Jo, Camilla Luddington, Mare and Bailey explaining that he'd gotten in contact with Izzy years after she ghosted and sent him divorce papers, only to learn that she'd been raising their twins all these years on a farm somewhere, and he'd chosen his newfound family over his life in Seattle. If anyone tells you they saw that coming, we'll show you a liar. The death of Dr. DeLuca. In Season 17, fans watched as Dr. Andrew DeLuca, Giacomo Gianniotti, met his untimely end. After overcoming his mental health struggles, DeLuca found himself as an attending at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. Yet, in typical Grey's fashion, Dr. DeLuca's back-on-track life was cut tragically short when he was stabbed by a human trafficker's accomplice. I can't wait one more second for Grey's Anatomy to return after Camilla Luddington teased non-stop action and hard moments. This story includes spoilers for the Grey Anatomy Season 21 finale, which is available to stream with a Hulu subscription or Netflix subscription. Ever since Grey's Anatomy's 21st season ended in explosive fashion 3 months ago, fans have been biding their time until its return to the 2025 TV calendar, when we find out who, if anyone, was killed and how Grey Sloan Memorial will recover from its latest disaster. I knew the finale was going to frustrate me and the wait for October would be long. But after reading Camilla Luddington's comments about the Season 22 premiere, I simply cannot hold on any longer. How Do I Live, the final episode of Grey's Anatomy Season 21, ended on a cliffhanger when a gas canister exploded, taking out what appeared to be one of the operating rooms. Viewers saw the explosion from the parking lot below, as Ellen Pompeo's Meredith Grey made her way to her car, and it sounds like Season 22 opens in the chaotic aftermath, with Camilla Luddington telling E! News. Grey's Anatomy selected its Derek replacement 10 years after Dempsey's exit. Derek Shepherd dying in Season 11 forever changed Grey's Anatomy, but the medical drama has seemingly picked out his replacement 10 years later. A key Grey's Anatomy character because of his relationship with Meredith, Derek brought his fair share of chaos to Seattle Grace due to his conflicted marriage to Addison, his lofty professional ambitions, and his messy personal life. Derek and Meredith's romance of epic proportions made Derek the son for half of Grey's Anatomy, with the story inevitably revolving around him. This made Derek's death in Grey's Anatomy Season 11 forcefully shift the medical drama's focus. His absence for 10 years nevertheless made enough time pass that it can now justify Grey's Anatomy bringing forth a Derek replacement. Grey's Anatomy sets up Lucas to be Derek Shepherd's true replacement. The action, even with Derek dying in Season 11. Despite sharing their specialty and a traumatic past, Amelia and Derek were always very different characters, making her arrival not feel like Amelia replaced Derek, as their headspace when getting to Grey Sloan was strikingly dissimilar. While the same could be said about Lucas, as he joined Grey Sloan as an intern instead of a renowned neurosurgeon, the hospital worked as a fresh start for Lucas like it did for Derek. Indeed, while Derek chose Seattle to move on from his complicated personal life, getting to Grey Sloan was Lucas's last-minute chance to become a resident. Did Grey's Anatomy's star Camilla Luddington just hint Link died in finale? There are a number of fan-favorite characters who were potentially in harm's way during the explosive finale of Grey's Anatomy Season 21, but no one seemed to be closer to the blast zone than Atticus Link Lincoln, Chris Carmack. Now, Camilla Luddington is speaking out about what to expect when the series returns this October, and it sounds like bad news for fans of her character's beloved hubby. Luddington chatted with E! Online about the show's impending return and previewed a rough return for her character, Joe Wilson in particular. There are some premieres that I'm excited to come back and film. We've had some really funny openers in this one. I think I can say this, I was really dreading, she told the site. The finale was crazy. Our premiere is even crazier. There is so much going on. It's a rough episode for her, Wilson added of her character's experience in the Season 22 premiere. It's really rough. While that's not a direct confirmation that Joe's worst fear might be coming true, it doesn't sound hopeful, that's for sure. When we last saw Link, he'd very recently said "I do" to Joe Wilson in an intimate but last-minute wedding ceremony in which he delivered his vows in a song. Then, in the finale, the couple, who are expecting twins, enjoyed a mini honeymoon on the floor of a storage closet after Link's arthroscopy surgery was pushed, unbeknownst to them. This was due to a hostage situation going on at the time. After they emerged from their temporary oasis, they were both stunned to see the chaos afoot, but once things calmed down, Joe headed home while Link returned to the surgical wing to complete his delayed surgery. The problem was that the surgical wing was anything but safe. Although Jenna Gatlin, Piper Perabo, claimed that the gas tank she used to hold up a surgery room and force Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, to perform surgery on her daughter was empty the whole time, her husband confirmed that it was not. Before anyone could warn the others who returned to the OR, there was a massive explosion that left several characters' fates unknown. Link has been a mainstay of the show since first joining Grey Sloan's orthopedic squad in Season 15 and has been Joe's rock through some very tough times, including being abandoned by her second husband, Alex Karev, Justin Chambers, the death of her abusive ex, and her devastating meeting with her birth mother. So if Link is the victim of the explosion, well, there will likely be very dark times ahead for Joe Wilson once again. Gulp. Camilla Luddington says, Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere was so traumatic to film, exclusive. Camilla Luddington is dropping little hints about the Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere. There are seasons that I know that I go back to set, and I know they're going to be really fun. We're doing comedy. I've bleached my hair out, and it's fried and it's looking crazy, and I'm so excited. And there are seasons that have ended in an explosion and everyone might be dead. And those are not the seasons that I want to return to, Luddington, 41, told Us Weekly in an exclusive interview. In fact, I get like a version of back-to-school nerves going back to set, and I had that this season. Luddington, who spoke to us while promoting her partnership with GetMS, explained that the cast is currently filming Episode 3. We just had that table read. It was incredible. This season is bananas already. I can't give any spoilers. It was not my favorite premiere to shoot, because it was just so traumatic for everyone involved, she said. Season 21 of Grey's Anatomy ended with a gas tank explosion in an operating room after a patient's mother threatened to blow up the hospital. While Luddington seemingly hinted that her character, Joe, is alive or at least still on the show, with her comment about Episode 3, Joe's husband, Link, Chris Carmack, was in the OR when the explosion went off. I should have known, She told us of Joe and Link's short-lived wedded bliss. It didn't occur to me, and I'm a vet of 13 years of that show, and I was like, damn, things are going so well, like, so naive. And I'm like, oh, of course. No, 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 there's gonna be an explosion, and my husband will be in it. I should have known. After more than a decade on the show, us had to ask what the actress' dream storyline for Joe would be now. Joe needs to be chief, she declared. I think she needs that office. She needs a pair of heels. She needs some cute outfits. I'm just in it for the outfits, to be honest. Chief Joe Wilson has a ring to it. I'm about to have twins, possibly, we'll see, maybe, and I need a good pediatrician, Ludington teased. And that is Arizona Robbins. While things are as crazy as ever at Grey Sloan, Ludington is turning to Gettimus to help her get her kids. She shares daughter Hayden, 8, and son Lucas, 5, with husband Matthew Allen, ready for the new school year. I'm very type B. There's no packing the night before and getting things ready. I lean into the chaos of the morning, which probably isn't the best thing, but I think that a lot of moms can probably relate, and packing the lunch is one of my least favorite things to do, she told us. I have very picky eaters at home. I'm picky about what I put into the lunchbox. They're even pickier about what they take out. So what I love about Gettimus is I know that when I put it in, I'm not gonna see that on the return home when I open it. I might see everything else, but at least that section that has Gettimus is gone. My kids really, truly, really love them. While Lucas loves the Ocean World crackers, he's learning about sharks right now, and the other day he came home and was like, the octopuses taste the best, and I was like, they all taste the same. But I'm sure that's true. Hayden is into the apple cinnamon quinoa roundos puff snack. My daughter got braces this year. Her favorite thing are chips, and she can't have chips anymore. And so I introduced her to the apple cinnamon puffs. And she was like, I can't eat those though, right? And I was like, no, you can eat these. She loves them. They're in her lunchbox, Ludington explained. I'm from England and nobody gets braces until they're like 90 or ever. So this is all very new to me. There's a whole laundry list of stuff you can eat with braces. Ludington concluded that Gettimus aren't just good for the lunchbox. They get in the car. They're so hangry. Their mood is like they've had the worst day, even when they've had the best day. And food is the key, she said. They don't even say hi to me. They're like, Mom, do you have any snacks? I know I have Gettimus in the car, and I literally throw it like a football in the back, hope they catch it, and as long as they do and they end up eating, they are fine. I have a peaceful car ride. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.